Hi guys, Fiona Edgar Astrologer here. I decided that I would make a quick video about the rest of the astrology for January because it's pretty chaotic for everyone. And I don't think it's over, okay? That's not to say that the result will change, but do I think that the fight is over? Absolutely not. No, not going by the astrology. So if you follow me on Facebook, I did kind of call the events prior to the January 6th. I also said not to trust anything about the day, the media, and no one can really figure out what happens because there's just so much deception and yeah, so it's a very confusing time for everyone. A lot of people around the world are gripped by this. Why do we care? Because whatever happens over in the States ultimately affects all of us. And I kind of don't want to live in I don't want the West to be, to turn into a communist country. Uh, if you do, then you're probably, you're mentally ill. So, right, let's take a look here at what exactly is going on. So everything's kicking off. It's kicking off right now, whether you can see it or not. I don't know exactly what's happening. This is not ending. Okay, this is not going to. Trump is not just going off and giving up, right? You should know him better than that. As an astrologer, I know him better than that. He's not he's not giving up. Will this result change? Is a miracle going to happen? I don't know. Okay? I can't say either way. I will say I've always said that Trump comes up on top regardless of regardless of whether he does another term or not. He comes up on top. Biden's astrology is awful next year. Trump has a lot of good influences, but the main thing is the secret enemy thing going on, and just the Trump derangement syndrome. So let's take a look then. On so on January the 14th, this is huge because Uranus turns direct. Uranus is a major player all year because, first of all, the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that we had in Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the modern ruler. What does Uranus mean? It's all about change. It's all about we're entering a new cycle. This new cycle is pretty dark, okay? Because we're ending the Kali, we're leaving the Kali Yuga. We're leaving the age of Pisces. This was not just going to turn into a utopia overnight. There's still, 99% of people are still freaking asleep. What's the best way that you can wake people up is by, and I mean this in a spiritual sense. If you were a higher power, what would you do to wake them up? It's not going to happen through sitting around and like singing songs together. It's going to happen through conflict. People need to become aware of just exactly what is going on here and what we're living under. The frigging madness that is happening. Like every day I say WTF about 10 times a day. Because I just can't believe, and it's not just about this election, it's about the stuff that's becoming normal in our society, and it's just completely degenerate. It's evil. There's an evil that has seeped through our reality. It's been there for a long time, but the veil is lifting now. It's really obvious to people that are awake. The Saturn-Jupiter conjunction shifted many people into a different dimension, okay? It may sound a bit Star Trek. If you look at the people that are blindly believing everything that they see in the news. They're not questioning. They're in a different dimension. Nothing that you will say to them is ever going to work. You're wasting your time. Okay? They can only wake up when they realize, they recognize the truth themselves. You can send them articles and bombard them with articles all day, every day. It's not going to change anything. You're wasting your time. If they need to wake up, they will do it. They'll come across something. So concentrate on yourself. Keep your frequency high. Be positive. No matter what happens, this is only the beginning. It really is only the beginning, because the energies of the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that we just had on the winter solstice, they're going to last for 20 years, okay, until we have another Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. With every astrological event, there is always a negative side. There's always a positive side. The negative side of this is really like evil people, evil energies, AI, just sci-fi, weird, futuristic stuff that you never thought would imagine. It's already happening. It's already happening. The positive side is that we are getting into the age of Aquarius. Okay? It coincides with many different cycles. I'm not just basing it on astrology. It has to get like this before we get to the golden age. It's not going to be it's not going to happen overnight. We have a very long time of fighting this fight. We will win in the end. But anyway, back to January. So when Uranus stations direct on the 14th, that's when things are going to move forward. It's a highly volatile and unstable energy, and it's going to cause violence. It's going to cause more shocking events. You haven't seen the end of that. It's going to be like that all month. Okay? We'll only know about 5% of them. There's also a couple of more minor things going on. Like there's a Sun-Pluto conjunction on the same day that Uranus goes direct. That's about seizing power. Okay? And that is bang. Something is changing here. Something is transforming. So this is happening on the 14th. I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm also not going to sit here and can't decode it and just talk about energy shifts like a lot of astrologers seem to do. This is real astrology. Real astrology describes life. Life at the moment is very dark. Okay, we have to get real. We have to get through this, and we're not going to get through it by thinking that it's only a temporary. It's only going to be for a few weeks. It's only going to be for a few months. We have a big fight on our hands. It's the fight for our consciousness. It's the fight for freedom. We have to take that seriously. Nobody is going to save you. You have to save yourself. Take up a spiritual practice. Spirituality is the enemy of communism, because spiritual people, if they're practicing a healthy form of spirituality, they can see the truth. Okay? Communism wants the state to be the gods. They want people that are the experts to be your gods. People like Bill Gates, that's who they want. And when you're devoid, when you remove that spiritual energy from your life, it becomes increasingly more difficult to identify the enemies from the friends. Okay, so on January 17th, it's so volatile, I can't even describe to you. This month it's just madness, but it's thrilling. It's an electrical energy. First of all, there's a really big chance that more interference with the internet is going to occur, especially this month, because at the end of the month we have a Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign that's connected to the internet. What does the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction tell us? Well, first of all, there's going to be limits on the internet. We're starting a warfare. I know that this has been happening gradually for a couple of years, but it's going to really take off here. We're going to we won't be able to experience freedom on the internet, okay? Because that's what communists do. They want to silence people that speak out against the narrative, that speak out against basically the empire. That's what we're looking at. You should be supporting big tech. I am going to post this on YouTube, but I'm also going to post it in a lot of other places too. So, you should be supporting. Sorry, I meant alternative media, alternative tech. You need to get on those sites. If you value freedom of information. Okay, so Jupiter square Uranus on January the 17th. As this is an air sign, I can't rule out stuff like something to do with air travel, okay? Because when Jupiter is transiting through an air sign and it makes a harsh aspect to Uranus, could be an explosive energy. It's something sudden, it's something violent. So we could be looking at something possibly to do with air travel, bombs, violence, sudden events. The upside of this is that it's also sudden enlightenment for a lot of people, because Uranian enlightenment comes all of a sudden. It's like a download that you get from the universe, from the gods, whatever it is that you believe in. So Mercury retrograde on the January 30th. This is actually the first Mercury retrograde that has started in an air sign since 2015. Okay, so all of the Mercury retrogrades this year are going to be in air signs, which means that we're focusing on the ongoing war against misinformation, the Great Reset, censorship. Air signs are connected to the way that we think, the way that we communicate. We're being asked to review that this year. And by review, I mean that a lot of people are just going to give away their smartphones, throw them away, and because they realize the damage that is coming from these devices. We're paying them to listen to our conversations, read our thoughts. I'm sorry, I know I keep saying that, but a lot of other people have been noticing that as well. You think about something and it turns up on your freaking newsfeed. The transhumanism agenda has already started. When us little people start to read about something that is shared on Facebook, it happened long ago, okay? And I did say on another podcast, I'm pretty sure it was Freeman TV. I did a podcast in 2018 or 2017 maybe, about the Mars retrograde in Aquarius that we had in 2018. Aquarius is all about the internet, it's advanced technologies. And that's when we started to notice a lot of changes. They brought in these algorithms on social media. They started listening to us. That's when it started to get weird, even more weird. Okay, so that's the battle, ongoing battle, the war and information. That's not going to end. Okay. So yeah, that kind of sums it up. So actually on January 20th, you're not going to believe this, but Mars is actually conjunct Uranus. Mars is the planet of warfare. It isn't an earth sign, but Taurus is all about your physical reality. Uranus has been transiting there for a while now. There's no such thing as a comfort zone. And Mars conjunct Uranus on Inauguration Day, I don't think any of us really know what's going to happen here. I certainly will not be trusting anything that I see and that I hear unless it comes from really trusted sources, because it's so easy to fake stuff on the internet, But Is everything going to change? I wouldn't be surprised. It would not surprise me. Maybe I'm just hanging on to a shred of hope, but I have faith. I have faith that with all of this Uranus stuff that's going on in January, and the fact that he hasn't conceded. Did you listen to the speech? He did not concede, and he also said that we're just getting started. Okay, whether he somehow manages to turn this around, the MAGA movement is much bigger than this. It's much bigger than 4 years. It's much bigger than DT. Okay, this is the movement that is going to free us from communism in the West, right? So it's bigger than this. Many people are getting on board. Chiron is transiting through Aries. It will be transiting through Aries until 2026. So Chiron is about wounds, and Aries is about your identity. Okay, but Aries is also the sign that rules that is connected to Mars. So this fire is being ignited. The spirit of the people is starting to rise. And I know that it's hard to see that when you go out and people are like, you know, eating McDonald's and they only care about the fucking Kardashians and they don't know about anything that's going on. They're not spiritual people. They don't even read. I know that most people are like that. I get that. But that's changing every day. I speak to people all over the world for my job every day. And some of them have just recently woken up. You know, some people are telling me that their family members have gone through massive, like, spiritual awakening since last year. So I'm not giving up hope, and neither should you. Regardless of what happens, please be safe, okay? Don't be going to any public gatherings. It's really not going to make any difference. And with this volatile energy, there is a big risk of violence on and off all of this month, and unexpected events and trickery. So please be safe. Draw strength from your spirituality. It's your biggest weapon. And yeah, just let me know how you're doing in the comments. I'll be back soon with another video. Take care.